child labor, obedient soldier, child bride. Throughout history, children has been subjected to the worst forms of exploitation and abuse. More than a year after the end of World War II, much of the world was struggling to recover from the devastation brought by the conflict. Millions of people faced famine and disease, and as always in that case of time, children were the most vulnerable. In response to that incident, the United Nations General Assembly decided to create UNICEF, which stands for United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, which was created on December 11, 1946. Their first headquarters was in the United States of America in New York City. Since its founding, UNICEF has saved more children's lives than any other humanitarian organization. Today, UNICEF operates in more than 150 countries and territories around the world, from the industrialized countries to West and Central Africa. UNICEF's aim and main focus is to advocate the protection of children's rights and help meet their basic needs and to expand their opportunities to reach their full potential. UNICEF is guided by the Convention on the Rights of Children and strives to establish children's rights as enduring ethical principles and international standards of behavior towards children. UNICEF aims through its country's program to promote the equal rights of women and girls and to support their full participation in the political, social, and economic development of their communities. The overall aim of UNICEF humanitarian response is to save lives, elevate suffering, and protect the rights of children. UNICEF's 5 areas of focus are as follows: child survival and development, basic education and gender equality, HIV/AIDS and children, and child protection. UNICEF offers political will and material resources to help countries, especially developing countries, to ensure a fair cause for children and to build their capacity to form appropriate policies and deliver services for children and their families. UNICEF is committed to ensure special protection for the most disadvantaged children, victims of war, disasters, extreme poverty, all forms of violence and exploitation, and those with disabilities. UNICEF responds in emergencies to protect the rights of children, in coordination with United Nations partners and humanitarian agencies. UNICEF makes its unique facilities for rapid response available to its partners to relieve the suffering of children and those who provide their care. UNICEF is free of discrimination. In everything it does, the most disadvantaged children and the countries in greatest need have their own priority. Every NGO needs to be creative in the way they source the funds needed to finance the different initiatives. UNICEF in that case is supported entirely by voluntary contributions of individuals, foundations, corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments. UNICEF needs all these funds in order to sustain its operation as a government and finance its various projects around the world. UNICEF also tries as much as possible to advertise themselves around the world through various channels. Barcelona has been a major part in marketing UNICEF through the printing on the back of Barcelona's jersey. This is what the UNICEF Deputy Director of Private Fundraising said on the day of Barcelona's partnership.
Barcelona is giving UNICEF tremendous visibility on the challenges that we face in the Horn of Africa. Lionel Messi and David Villa, 2 of the marquee stars of FCB, have been promoting the issue on their Facebook sites. There are many hundreds of thousands of followers of both players who are learning about the tragedy in the Horn of Africa. And Barca themselves on their own website are also publicizing the challenges that we face in the Horn of Africa and promoting the work that UNICEF is doing there.
I honestly think that UNICEF is very successful in what it is doing, and they have been extremely successful in achieving their goals. Their goals was to work for survival, protection, and development of children worldwide through fundraising, advocacy, and education. I think that UNICEF has achieved their goals and went even beyond that. Since the opening of UNICEF in December 11, 1946, UNICEF has led a tireless crusade against disease and suffering, advocating low-cost, politically solutions to problems facing the world's children. And statistics have backed up my thinking, and it shows that UNICEF has been extraordinarily effective in its field. A generation ago, 70,000 children died each day. Today, thanks to UNICEF, the number has been cut down to more than half. 30 years ago, 1 in 4 children died before the age of 5. Today, the number is less than 1 in 10. In 1980, 10% of the world's children were immune against the 6 killer diseases. Today, the number is over 75%. This year, 3 million more children will live to their 5th birthday than in 1990, and tens of millions will lead healthier, more productive lives. In 2008, for the first time in modern history, the number of children dying before the age of 5 fell below 10 million. That is why I honestly think that UNICEF is very successful in what it is doing, and they have been extremely successful in achieving their goals.